3. Gene Paul Sear, who's turned a few laps around this facility, is in car number 44, Donnie Lashua. Max Zackham from Preston, Connecticut, Mike Holdridge in the number 0. The green flag is over the Speedway, and we are underway. The ground-pounding modifieds of the Valenti Modified Racing Series. Down the back straightaway, Malave's on the outside of Kopech. Kopech strong into the bottom of turn number 3. They back up a little bit going through turn number 3, and that affected car number 12 of Tommy Barrett. Tommy Barrett, as well as a few of these drivers, first time they've ever been to Airborne Speedway. Anxious and eager to get out there and get it on here this afternoon. Rowan Pennick is the early leader in car number 25. Now look at the number 66 of Kopech. Kopech, as he is underneath Malave, they continue to battle. Here comes Bonsignor. The caution flag is over the Speedway, and it's going to be for the number 44 of Gene Paul Sear from Milton, Vermont. Here is working the ISMA Super Modifieds this weekend over at Star Speedway. He does the New England shows for ISMA. So we're very grateful. Here we go. Green flag is over the Speedway, and back to racing we go. Down into turn number 1, Jeff Malave on the outside as he's going to pressure Pennick down the back straightaway. Bonsignor is on the outside of Kopech in the 66. Here comes Donnie Lashua. He's never been here to the Speedway. He was fast in the practice sessions today in Jack Bateman's number 17. Zackham's working the high side off the second turn. Drag races Kopech down the back straightaway. Kopech drives it in low and hard into turn number 3. Lashua is right behind in car number 17. As they rumble down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. They're going to go nose to tail over the top 3 positions. Zackham shakes free Kopech for the moment. Here comes Lashua right up behind. And there's your top 6 as they race off the number 4 corner. Tommy Barrett off the pace in car number 9. And then Mike Holdridge in the number 0. Gene Paul Sear in Paul Michaud's number 44 is at the back end of the field. Down the front straightaway, nose to tail into the corner. Pennick, coming off a win Friday night in the SK Modified Division at Stafford Speedway in Connecticut, his 3rd in a row, is looking very good here in Gary Casella's number 25. Malave continues to give chase here. Bonsignor is going to go to the inside and try to beat him into turn number 3. Can he do it? Malave drifts up high. There goes Bonsignor to the bottom. These drivers do receive points in the heat races. So you want to advance and get up to the front and possibly win it, if at all possible. Here comes Kopech now back. Kopech right up behind the Soundworks sponsored number 2 car. We've got 2 laps to go. Side-by-side battle for the number 3 spot as Zackham races strong and hard on the outside. Kopech wants to go with him, and he does. White flag is ready to fly now for car number 25. One more trip around the Airborne Speedway here in the first of 2 heat races for the Valenti Modified Racing Series, now in its 11th season. Bonsignor, car length right behind going into the corner. Here's the checkered flag, and here they come to the stripe. And from the green to the checker, full starting spot to checkered flag. It'll be Rowan Pennick nailing down the victory. Justin Bonsignor, Mass is his home base. He's in the number 45. Carl Medeiros is in the number 50 from Westport, Mass. Norman Wren out of Nashua, New Hampshire is in the Advanced Gas Distributors, number 53. So here we go, the opening round of heat number 2 as they mash throttles down the back straightaway. Willis right up behind Savory. Savory slowed at the end of the back straightaway a bit, and Willis giving a little bit of a tag. No harm done. Here comes Medeiros to the outside. Medeiros, I know, has raced here in the past. He has run with the NEMA Lights here when the NEMA Midgets have come to the Airborne Speedway. And he is a rookie campaigner in car number 50, moving into the Potent Modifieds here in 2014. So Chris Pasteryak was fast during the practice sessions today, and he's fast here in heat number 2, giving the number 77 Matt Mead something to target at as they come off the number 4 corner. Down the chute, it's Savory holding on to 3rd. As we've said, several of these drivers were not with us when we were here back in 2010. So this is their maiden voyage, and I'll tell you, the comments after practice, they love this speedway. They love the front straightaway and the way they're able to go hard into turn number 1. Savory right up behind the 77, but not close enough to get up alongside of them. We're going to be halfway. 5 into the books, 5 laps to go. Savory right on the bumper of the number 77, Matt Mead. Staying right there is Osgood in car number 38. Dan Missouri way high off turn number 2. Brings it back, stays solid down the back straightaway. He is in the 5th spot, getting pressure from Carl Medeiros and Norm Wren in car number 53. Norm Wren won his first ever Valenti Modified Racing Series race just a few weeks ago at the Seekonk Speedway. That was a very, very emotional moment for that longtime veteran driver. Wren has won races and championships and pro stocks and pro 4 modifieds, but he had never won with this series. Okay, they're going to get the 2 to go sign at the line, and here's Pasteryak setting a good pace. Got a good race going on for 3rd. Willis is all over the number 77, Matt Mead. He looks to the inside, tries to get the power underneath, and he can't get it done as the 77 hangs on. Savory solid in 2nd. Here's your white flag. 1 more lap to go. Could be in for an interesting shootout here for the 100-lap event later on in the day. Getting set for the checkered flag, and heat number 2 is going to be in the record books here. Pasteryak will win it. Savory 3rd, Mead 4th. The 38 Willis finishes in the 4th.
That is the field set to go here in qualifier number 1, the one and only for the late model division. Here they come off the 4th turn. Green flag is out. Taking the lead into turn number 1, but pushing up the track is Nick Lagoy. That's going to bog down the outside. They're now 3 wide off the 2nd turn, nearly 4 as they race down the backstretch into turn number 3. The Professor Bucko Branham has to get on the binders, and he will slide back into the number 4 spot. Look at Brandon Atkins shuffle on the top. Well, it was scary up on the top as the outside lane backed up, but Brandon Atkins made it work, and he's now got a bid for the lead going into turn number 3. Also moving up top, Nick Sweet in the 88. Again, Branham has to get on the binders as he's trying to dig deep underneath the 3 of Danny Sullivan. But Brandon Atkins is now challenging side by side for the lead. Up into turn number 1, it's Atkins with the nose out in front. He's going to drive hard off of turn number 2. Great run for Atkins. He's to the point. Gaggle of cars racing for that 3rd position. Bobby Therian now throws his hat in the mix as he races behind Nick Sweet. A little bit of a bobble down on the bottom from Danny Sullivan is going to allow Nick Sweet to pull around on the outside. Bobby Therian's going to try to go with him up on top of the racetrack, but Sullivan was a bit better in 1 and 2 that time. Therian now with a bump draft down the backstretch. Pushes Sweet up into that number 3 spot. That's going to allow Therian to pull alongside for 4th. Branham still pinned behind as here comes Eric Chase. Chase has the back bumper right against Bobby Therian's number 5 machine. The man that's been snookered in this one is Bucko Branham in the 20. He hasn't been able to get around Danny Sullivan. Sullivan now pushes up the racetrack. That allows room for Branham. Branham looks out on the inside. Sullivan tries to shut the door. He can't do so any longer, and here he comes on the inside at the halfway point. Branham to position number 5. Out front and trying to run away is the 4 of Brandon Atkins. Nick Lagoy about 3 car lengths back, and then it's 5 or 6 back to Nick Sweet in the 88. Behind Nick Sweet is the 5 of Bobby Therian. Then it's Bucko Branham with Eric Chase and the 3 of Danny Sullivan running side by side. Now Eric Chase is able to get around, and Sullivan may have kissed the wall off the 4th turn. Chase takes that position. Sullivan backslides. And out front, Brandon Atkins is coming off the 4th turn. This time around, he's going to see the popsicle stick. No, not this time. It's going to be next time around. During practice, Atkins and his team working feverishly on that car. It may have been tight in the center of the corner. And they may have found the problem with that car. There's 2 laps to go, and Atkins is running away. Nick Lagoy's done a nice job to hold off the 2nd spot challenge that Nick Sweet looked like he was going to have. Sweet was moving pretty fast up on top of the racetrack, but has settled down into the 3rd spot. And here comes Bobby Therian with the white flag out and 1 to go. Side by side at the line. They were even for the 3rd spot. Here comes Bobby Therian up on top. They're still side by side down the backstretch. There's going to be no doubt about 1st and 2nd for this one. The battle's on for 3rd. Here they come off the 4th turn. The winner is going to be Brandon Atkins. 2nd, Nick Lagoy. Here they come off the 4th turn. Nick Sweet looked like Sweet just barely for 3rd by a bumper cover. Then Bobby Therian, Bucko Branham, Eric Chase. 8 laps this week for their qualifying action. Brissett, And signs. Here they come off the fourth turn. Green flag is out. Good start for Fast Eddie down on the inside. He's going to show the way in turns 1 and 2. Tyler Brissett trying to dig down underneath the 78 of Michael Wright. That's not going to work. Here comes the 41 of LaFountain. 3 wide in turn number 3, LaFountain is thinking. Brissett's giving him plenty of room. Leaves the hole open down on the bottom of the racetrack, but Brissett isn't too eager to go there, as he's going to back off, and that bogs down Scott Richner a bit. Here goes LaFountain now on the 41. Richner might even think 5 wide here off the second turn. No, 4 wide. But that's enough as they race into turn number 3. Is Richner going to stay in it? No, a wise decision for Richner to back out of it. 3 by 3. 6 cars side by side by side as they race off the 4th turn. Tim LaFountain gets out of there. Richner gets out of there. And they're going to have positions 2 and 3, and they're challenging for the lead. Fast Eddie Brissett loses it to Tim LaFountain, and as quick as Tim LaFountain gained it, he may lose it to Scott Richner here in the 81. As Richner looks to be hooked up on the bottom of the racetrack. Here they come off the 4th turn. It's going to be halfway this time around, and Scott Richner is taking the lead. Pete Blaney in the 22B. He's a car that's been pretty fast as of late. He's moving down on the inside, racing door-to-door with Mike Whalen. Whalen in that 11 car. Races the outside group. Oh, look out. A little bit of contact between those 2 drivers. They try to hold on to it. Fast Eddie saw that. He took evasive action. He holds on to it. 2 laps to go and 2 good saves right there.
And credit to Pete Blaney also, as he got on the brakes, allowed Whalen to collect his car and maintain that 3rd place standing.
It's going to be 1 lap to go this time by. Oh,
they're not happy. He wasn't happy with them there. That was the chrome horn to a T.
Well, anyway, the white flag is out. And there could be a different color flag, opposite of white, coming out at the end of this one. But this one's a checkered flag. Here is the checkered flag for Scott Richner. And after Richner, it's going to be the 41 of Tim LaFountain, but not by much. Then Pete Blaney. Then the 8 of Tyler Brissett. The 78. Oh, he took a shot at him. Whalen was going after him. All right, ready to go with qualifier number 2 for the mini modifieds. Here they come off the 4th turn. Green flag is out. Good jump on top of the racetrack for CJ. CJ LeVere shows the way. Harold trying to follow in his footsteps. But look at Dale O'Neill. O'Neill might think 3 wide on the top of the racetrack. Look at Harold threading the needle through the middle. He gets down in front of the 79 of LaGrave, and he's going to split the difference. He'll go underneath the 66 of Robert Foley and create a lane for Dale O'Neill. Uh-oh, that lane squeezed up, and O'Neill's going to have to go back to where he's comfortable, down on the bottom. Dale O'Neill in the 66 is trying to work underneath the 79 of Jay LaGrave. He's got room now down the backstretch. A much better run off the second turn for O'Neill than for that 79 car of LaGrave. Harold is holding down the fort right now in second position, but he's got a challenge coming on the inside. That's Dale O'Neill. But Harold's good at protecting that inside line. We'll see what he does here off the second turn. Harold is able to keep that spot, but not for long. You see, he's trying to protect that inside line right there. See, that's how you protect the inside line.
That was defensive driving. I think he gets 10% off on his auto insurance for defensive driving like that.
Well, he's going to open up the hole here this time. But he might try to, well, no, he's going to let him go.
I don't think he has a choice.
Dale O'Neill the second. Harold's hanging with him, though. He's on the outside right now. But C.J. LeVere's in another area code. He's playing catch me if you can with that number 4 car. He sees 2 to go this time by. 2 to go for C.J. with Dale O'Neill coming after him. But I don't think he's going to get there after the defensive driving course that Harold put on the backstretch. Here comes the point champion, Stephen Brissett. Brissett, the number 14, has worked his way up to position number 4. White flag is out one more time around for C.J. LeVere. LeVere using that Collins Auto number 4 machine. I know the LeVeres have gone through numerous engines and different machines this season, racing both here at Airborne and at Devil's Bowl Speedway.
They have a stockpile of mini modifieds.
Yes, they do.
At their shop in Gabriel's.
And the checkered flag is out for C.J. LeVere. Oh, look out. There goes Stephen Brissett up into the wall. Harold was a little wide in turn number 4. I wonder if, well, no, we're not going to speculate. Dale O'Neill was second, Harold third. Fourth will be the 79 of LaGrave, and rounding up the top 5 will be Dave Demore.
I don't know if he was able to get the brakes at all with that car.
I bet you 14's waiting. I bet you quite a bit.
Wow, that's... We've got 4 drivers now that are antsy with one another in the mini-modified division. Their 15-lap feature event could be 1 points behind Haywood coming into Championship Sunday. All right, ready to run. 8 machines ready to go in the first qualifier for the J&S Steel Sportsman Modifieds. Here they come off 4 down the line, and the green flag is out. Keith Pelkey from the outside front row takes the lead off of turn number 2. Chris Frenier looks to roll on the inside. Frenier in the 93 moves to the inside of Rico Hernandez in the 98. Little contact going into turn number 3. That accordions the field. Hernandez hard towards the wall. He's able to right the ship, though, down the front stretch and off into turns 1 and 2. Frenier has the second spot. Here comes Cody Aubin through on the inside. That inside lane starting to roll a little bit. Nick Haywood has decided to follow Aubin through as he tries to move towards the front. The leader out front, Pelkey in the 4. Second, Frenier in the 93. Rico Hernandez holding down third. His teammate Cody Aubin looking to take that spot away. And then it is the 29 of Nick Haywood. Now remember, points are awarded for racing in the qualifier, so Haywood wants to get towards the front to pick up as many points as he can with that championship on the line this afternoon. The 4 of Keith Pelkey cruising out front. He's got a near half backstretch advantage right now over the 93 of Chris Frenier. Aubin has gone to the 3rd spot. Haywood is right on his back bumper. Mark Lamberton is in the top 5 with a 44. Rico Hernandez back to 6th. Aubin pushes high off of turn number 4. That opens the door for Nick Haywood. He drives through to the 3rd spot. Mark Lamberton tries to follow in that same hole. He moves underneath Aubin, who fights back on the outside down the backstretch. They're racing wheel to wheel for the 4th spot with Lamberton on the inside, Cody Aubin on the outside. It is still Keith Pelkey out front. The lead is starting to shrink, though. Frenier in the 2nd spot. Here comes Nick Haywood eyeing an inside line over in turn number 2. Haywood had that left front tire right off the racing surface, way down low on the inside. He'll power through down the backstretch. He goes to 2nd. Mark Lamberton looks to follow through on the inside. He's trying to grab 3rd away from the 93 of Frenier. Haywood in the 29 in the 2nd spot continues to close the gap between himself and the 4 car of Keith Pelkey. Right now it's about 10 car lengths to disadvantage. Mark Lamberton running in 3rd, Chris Frenier 4th. 5th is Cody Aubin in car number 7. They work along the front stretch and the lead continues to shrink. It's down to about 4 car lengths. Make it 2 in turns 1 and 2. Pelkey pushes to the top of turn number 2. Haywood closing in on the back bumper. Dives down to the inside going to turn number 3. Here comes Nick Haywood to the inside. Eyeing that power move down the front stretch. He's the new leader. Haywood goes to the lead. Running in the 2nd spot now, Pelkey. Here comes Mark Lamberton in the 44. He's trying to take that 2nd position away. Then it's a good gap back to the 93 of Chris Frenier. Nick Haywood, who started 7th in the 8-car grid off of turn number 4, gets the white flag. So he'll acquire maximum points in this qualifier. Key as he tries to defend that track championship. Here comes Haywood through turn number 4, down the front stretch, and the checkered flag is out. Nick Haywood is going to get the win. 2nd goes to Mark Lamberton. 3rd, a good run for Keith Pelkey. 4th to Chris Frenier. 5th to Cody Aubin. Jim Morgan finishes in the 6th spot. 7th, Rico.
3rd, that is Andrew Bordeaux in the 08.
Friesen, a native of Niagara on the Lake, Ontario, has a 1-point lead over Haywood in the New York State NASCAR point standings. That's why he's here today. He wants to extend that lead over Haywood in the New York State NASCAR points.
Green flag is out as they race down the backstretch. Jamie LaFountain shows the way. The guy we're going to have to watch in this one is going to be the 69 of Bruno. The local point battle is also important as well. Haywood leads in that, and Bruno's trying to catch him. Although the problem for Bruno, he's got 2 fast guys out in front of him already, and they're starting to run away with this one. Jamie LaFountain in the 20 and the 17 of Durgan are cruising out front. Here comes Jason Durgan looking to the top side. He's going to try and get around the outside of the racetrack as LaFountain is trying to keep the 20 pin down on the bottom. LaFountain bobbles a bit in 1 and 2. That's enough for Durgan to go by on the top of the racetrack, put Durgan on point, and Travis Bruno has moved through to 3rd. Ronnie Proctor's trying to dig underneath Speedy Brissett in that yellow 27 car. Here he comes down to the inside. He's going to take the position away from Speedy at the line. He goes to 4th with Vince Quinville right on the back bumper. Jason Chris in the number 30 car trying to hold off Stuart Friesen in the number 19. Friesen is digging on the bottom of the racetrack. Thanks, Joe. As here they come off the 4th turn. Jason Chris a bit out of shape, trying to get underneath Speedy in the 03 car. Jason with a good save down on the inside, but that kicked up a few stones onto the racing surface. Going to be halfway this time by halfway for the 17 of Jason Durgan. Travis Bruno in the number 69 car runs in position number 3. Going into the race, the feature race that is, if they would have finished this way in the heat, he would have a 9-point differential that he would have to make up on Nick Haywood, but he's looking for more. Here he goes down on the inside of the 20 of Jamie LaFountain. Wheel to wheel down the backstretch into turn number 2. Turn number 3, excuse me. It's Travis Bruno in the 69. He sticks the nose out in front. Here he comes off the 4th turn. Second place right now is Travis Bruno. Vince Quinville going to work now on Ron Proctor's number 27 car. Quinville trying to make it to work up on top of the racetrack. That's not going to happen. Quinville bobbled in 1 and 2. Popsicle sticks are out. 2 laps to go for Jason Durgan this time off the 4th turn. 2 to go. Stuart Friesen in the 19 really not making any headway in that machine. He's been pinned behind the 30 of Jason Chris. And of course, it's going to take some adjustments for Friesen in that 19, never having run here before in a modified on asphalt.
And they turned 3 laps of practice in that car. Only 3 laps. They got here very late.
They didn't show up on time. Well, here he comes off the 4th turn. Winner of the 2nd qualifier for the Sportsman Modifieds, it's Jason Durgan. 2nd's going to go to Travis Bruno. 3rd, Jamie LaFountain. 4th, a drag race off the 4th turn. Give it to Vince Quinville. Then Ron Proctor, Jason Chris, Stuart Friesen.
3rd row, there's Gordon. He's in the H2O from Milton, Vermont. Josh Paye is in car number 5. First time out at Airborne for Josh. Outside, it's the 44N for Brandon Nolan. He's from Ausable Forks. And the racing legend from Clayburgh, New York, Metal Man himself, starts at the rear of the field. The green flag is out. Keep an eye on Gordon. He's got to make headway towards the front of the field. He's got the H2O dialed in down on the inside. Out front, it's the 32 of Brent Jarvis. The 28 runs right behind Ryan Booten. On the outside, Amber Turner in the 57. Turner goes right up towards the wall off of turn number 4. He loses the spot to Ryan Booten, and the inside line is trying to move through underneath. There is Sean Duquette's 18 trying to dig down low. He'll take 3rd off of turn number 2 down the backstretch as Gordon goes with him in the H2O machine. Turner holding on to the 4th spot for now. But to the inside, here comes the H2O. And he'll take a peek to the inside of the Duquette 18 as well. Remember, with the points awarded in the qualifier, that certainly could shake things up going into the feature event. Should Gordon have a better finish in his qualifier than Bigor, he potentially could go to the feature event with the lead in the point standings. As they work off turn number 4, Brent Jarvis takes his car right up towards the wall. Gordon in the H2O still running in the 4th spot. He's behind Sean Duquette. Duquette is certainly a quality car in that 18 machine. But Gordon's got his work cut out for him now as he's got 3 cars in front that are all running pretty well. Brent Jarvis has the 32 running strong. The 28 of Ryan Booten in that 2nd spot. 3rd, Sean Duquette in the 18. Gordon in the H2O runs in 4th, and now he's going to go to the outside. The front 3 cars have been working on the inside of the racetrack. Gordon says time to check the outside. He'll take the top of the racetrack off of turn 2 down the backstretch, and he'll stay out there going into turns 3 and 4. Sean Duquette, whose car has really worked pretty well down low on the inside the last several events in this division, he'll stay down there, and at the line he had a half car length on Robert Gordon's H2O. It is Brent Jarvis in the 32 continuing to show the way. The 28 of Ryan Booten runs in 2nd. He's a car length off the back. The 18 of Duquette right on the back bumper. Booten now looks to the outside. That might open up a hole down low for Sean Duquette. Robert Gordon's trying to dig underneath. Gordon goes back to the outside into turn number 1 and 2. Halfway in this first qualifier for the KRD Trailer Sales Renegade Division, it's Jarvis holding on to a 2-car length advantage. Josh Paye goes into the infield. He gets the Shearer-sponsored number 5 back out on track, and the white flag is out. Make that 2 laps to go when they a couple of laps back. Now the white flag is out. It is the 32 of Brent Jarvis out on the Speedway. The 28 of Ryan Booten running in that 2nd spot. Sean Duquette holding on to 3rd, but now there's room on the inside for Robert Gordon. Here comes Gordon through on the inside. He's going to get the 3rd spot with a checkered flag out. It's the 32 of Jarvis, the 28 of Ryan Booten, the H2O of Robert Gordon, the 18 of Sean Duquette, and then the 57 of Amber Turner. Finishing in 6th with fire for the KRD Trailer Sales Renegade Division. A lot of pressure on, especially the 11 and the 19. Here they come off of turn number 4. They work along the front stretch, and the green flag is out. From the outside of row number 1, it is the 23 of John Booten. Zach Raptoy in car number 12 trying to fight along that inside line as well. But on the outside, it is John Booten with the lead going into turns 3 and 4. Zach Raptoy runs in the second spot. Zach Daniels in car number 30 on the outside. He'll take second at the line. Lance Raptoy looks to go to the outside as well. He'll move into the third position. Josh Terry is also rolling on the outside. It's that outside line that has really come to life. Jamie Begor looking to move around the 22 of Dylan Raptoy. That would move him into the sixth spot if he can do that on the outside. Out front, it is the Booten, number 23, showing the way. Zach Daniels in car number 30 in that second spot. Lance Raptoy third on the outside. He's going to start digging after the second position with Daniels down low. Josh Terry runs in fourth. Fifth, Jamie Begor. Now Begor, he's into that fifth position. But again, look at the cars that are in front of him. The 43 has won this year. The 30 has won this year. The 11 has won this year. And the 23, way back at the beginning of the season, also picked up a victory. So Begor really has his hands full. If he's going to match Gordon and get to the third spot, it is not going to be easy. He's really going to have to drive that 19 machine. Jim McKiernan with a good move to get the spot away from Zach Raptoy towards the back of the pack. Side-by-side racing for the second spot. 3 cars battling for second right now. It's Lance Raptoy on the outside. Zach Daniels on the inside. Josh Terry in the 43 is there as well. Raptoy gets a good run off the top of turn number 2. There might have been a little contact there, but Lance is able to drive around on the outside, and he'll go to second. That would be a good move for Raptoy. He would gain a point at least on certainly Jamie Begor as well as Gordon in the H2O, who finished in third in his first qualifier. Begor now on the outside trying to grab fourth. The outside of Josh Terry in the 43. Zach Daniels in the 30 continues to run in the low lane. Out front, it's still the 23 of John Booten, and there's 2 laps to go for the 23. Booten's lead at the line was 4 car lengths. Lance Raptoy's car number 11, second on the outside. Zach Daniels' car 30, down low, running in the third spot. Jamie Begor in car number 19, works in the fourth position. It's Josh Terry down low on the inside. Car number 43 has fifth, coming back after Begor as Daniels pushes up the racetrack in front of the line of Begor. That opens up the inside line with a white flag out on the field. Daniels drifted up high. That took the momentum away from the 19 of Jamie Begor, and it gives the 43 of Josh Terry a chance to move on the inside. Begor running in the fifth spot. Here they come off of turn number 4. John Booten in car number 23 is going to win it. Second is Lance Raptoy. Third, Daniels on the outside. Fourth, Josh Terry in the 43. And fifth.
All right, ready to go. Here they come. Fast pace set by the front off the fourth turn. Green flag is out. Good start on top for the 40 of Eric Chase. Oh boy, he cuts down in front of Nick Haywood. That can't please him. Excuse me, Nick Lagoy. And that's going to bring out a yellow flag. Laps the distance. All right, here they come. Going to try again. Off the fourth turn. That one looks a little bit better. Green flag is out. Nick Lagoy with a jump that time down on the inside. Here comes Bucko. Bucko looked underneath Lagoy, but he's thought better of that. Eric Chase trying to come back on the top of the racetrack. Good momentum for Chase. Nick Sweet's rolling as well up on top. Bobby Therian's up there. 5 cars now duking it out and starting to pull away from the 07 of Hino Jr. Eric Chase now sticks the nose out in front. He goes to the point. Bucko Branham wants to go up to the top of the racetrack. 3 wide for the third position. Bucko the meat and the sandwich. Bobby Therian down on the bottom. Nick Sweet hung out to dry on the far outside. Here they come off the fourth turn. Boy, Nick Sweet had to get on the binders. Otherwise, he would have been putting the 20 of Branham in the wall. A gentleman move there. A lot of courtesy from Nick Sweet getting on the binders, allowing Bucko Branham plenty of room.
Well, if he doesn't get on the binders, he's in the wall too. Sweet was on the extreme outside line, and everybody just washed up the track trying to find grip off of turn number 4.
Out front, it's Eric Chase in the number 40. Bobby Therian's trying to run him down. Nick Lagoy trying to hang on in third. Bucko Branham with a peek down to the inside. Branham in that number 20 car is there in turns 3 and 4. He's trying to dig down underneath. Can't do it that time. Uh-oh, Danny Sullivan with problems. The left rear has broken on that car. And, all right, 4 in the books, 21 more scheduled. Here they come off the fourth turn. It's Chase and Therian down to the green flag. Good start for Therian up on top of the racetrack. He puts his nose out in front, but Chase comes back to the number 40. Bucko Branham has cleared the 7 of Lagoy, and he will settle down to the inside and run behind Chase in the 40 car. Chase pushes up the racetrack a bit. That opened up a hole for Bucko Branham. Branham can't fill it. Therian, the leader, up on top of the racetrack. Bobby Therian in the 5 going to try and drive around Chase in the 40 car. He does so down the backstretch and clears him as they get into turn number 3. Look at Brandon Atkins moving on top of the racetrack in the number 4. A power move diving into the 4th turn. Meanwhile, Nick Lagoy trying to get around the 07 of Hino. He is bogged down on the bottom of the racetrack. Nick Sweet now moving as well up on top. Atkins moved through the 4th. And Sweet is up to position number 5. Lagoy got shuffled back all the way to position number 7, where he races in front of Kevin Booten in the 25. Out front, Bobby T. Therian with the number 5 car. Bucko Branham is right there on the back bumper of the 40 of Eric Chase, but he can't seem to find any racing room down to the inside. That is where Bucko Branham is trying to run. Bucko really hasn't brought that 20 car up to the top of the racetrack. Typically when he used to race here in the limited late model division, he would set cars up in turn number 2. He would diamond turns 1 and 2 and set the pass up coming off the 2nd turn. But he hasn't been able to do that with his late model machine. Really been struggling with finding the exact setup. I know Bucko has said many times that these cars are just so fragile, and the changes that you can make can really mess up this race car. So you got to be careful with what you try. And for that 20 team, they've been trying the bottom groove, but it hasn't worked to get around Chase in the number 40. Brandon Atkins is coming in the 4 car, and he's a guy that seemed to be hooked up on top of the racetrack. Atkins in that number 4 is eyeing in on that battle for second. He's going to take the 4 up to the top of the racetrack, and he's going to try and battle with Branham. Meanwhile, the 7 of Lagoy and the 07 of Hino slam on one another as they race up into turn number 1. 3 or 4 door checks traded in that battle. They go up into turn number 3. Lagoy down on the bottom, Hino on the top. Again, they door check one another, and they race off the 4th turn. And Hino with the spot still out front. Again, they lean on one another into turn number 1. Hino still with the spot up on top, and Lagoy trying to fight back down on the bottom. Lagoy in the 7 New York has the nose in front for that position as we are halfway in the first feature for the late model division. Halfway. Bucko Branham with a peak that time off the 2nd turn for the 2nd spot. Again in turn number 3, he's able to drive it deeper than Chase in that number 40 car, but can't get the grip he needs off the corner. That has made the battle from 2nd to 5th, single file. Atkins now pulls out a line, tries to get some momentum up on top of the racetrack. That opened up a hole for Nick Sweet down to the inside. Sweet trying to get there. It's Atkins now trying to roll up on top of the racetrack. Can he get there? No, he can't. Sweet's got the door open. Sweet is trying to come through for position number 4 on the inside. Atkins holds the spot, but he's hung out to dry on the outside right now. That car is pushing, and he gets a pretty good drive off the 2nd turn, but entering the corner, it appears that 4 is pushing in turns 1 and 2. Here comes Sweet, glued down to the bottom of the number 88 car. But he may have taken a spot away at the line. He does. Sweet now with position number 4 at the line. Atkins up on top. It's Chase still holding off at Professor Bucko Branham for second. Branham has lost a couple of car lengths in that battle, but Atkins now fighting back on top of the number 4. Brandon Atkins in the 4 car trying to fight back, but he can't get there. Sweet still strong on the bottom. Atkins in 1 and 2 with a bit of a bobble. That allows Sweet to pull away down on the inside. Nick Sweet trying to clear Brandon Atkins for rights all by himself to that 4th position. But Atkins still hanging with him up on top of the racetrack. Out front, it is Bobby Therian in number 5 car. He has set sail. Then it's the 40 of Eric Chase. Bucko Branham still trying to dig down underneath, but he can't get the car going underneath him. And Branham is going to have to try the top soon. Otherwise, he's going to have to be satisfied with a 3rd place finish. Branham that time off the 2nd turn, tried to get there, but the car really wiggled out of the corner. Branham again is going to look underneath. Maybe give him a little bump, nudge him up the racetrack a bit with 5 laps to go.
He doesn't seem to be able to quite get there, really. Well, that time there he is. He
nudge.
Made contact.
There it is.
You called it.
Branham goes through down to the inside. It's Chase trying to fight back up on top of the racetrack. Branham takes the spot away. And, well, Chase giving it right back to him.
Oh, he may remember.
I don't think Chase is going to forget. I haven't forgotten yet. Branham's got the 2nd spot. Here's the hole open for Nick Sweet. Sweet in the 88 car races side by side with his teammate this afternoon. Eric Chase in the 40, but Chase holds him off. Sweet tries to get there for that 3rd position. Those two touch in turns 1 and 2. They rub off the second turn and race down the backstretch into turn number 3. Popsicle sticks are out this time by for Bobby Therian in the number 5. Therian, 2 to go. Sweet has moved his way by in the 88. Here comes the 4 of Brandon Atkins to the top of the racetrack. He's going to try and get around Chase in the 40 as well. Atkins in the number 4 car. Tries to pull even into turn number 3. They race in Chase. Oh boy, Chase pushes up the racetrack and pushes that 4 of Atkins up the track. White flag is out one more time around. Atkins wasn't too pleased with that move. He gives a shot to Chase in the back bumper as they race their way down the backstretch. But here comes the winner off the 4th turn. It's the 5 of Bobby Therian. Second's going to be the 20 of the Professor Bucko Branham. Nick Sweet 3rd. 4th, Eric Chase. 5th, Brandon Atkins. 6th will be Nick Lagoy. 7th to Arthur Hino. 8th, Kevin Booten.
3 and 4. Was able to race around the outside and grab the lead away from Eric Chase, and from that point forward, it was game, set, match. He continued to extend his lead down the stretch, and at the checkers had a half front stretch advantage over Bucko Branham in car number 20. Branham brings it home in the 2nd spot. Nick Sweet's number 88 finishes in the 3rd position. Eric Chase was 4th, and Brandon Atkins finishes in position number 5. On trackside now to Robbie.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Bobby Therian unbuckling inside of the car. Second win here at Airborne in 2014 for Bobby T. Here he is climbing out of the car. Give him a nice round of applause. Bobby Therian picking up his 2nd win in 2014. Bobby, come on over here so we can get you on camera. For you, this race was won on the restart. Your car seemed pretty hooked up wherever you wanted to throw it, but on the top for that restart, this car was aced. And for you, I think you got to be pretty pleased on that restart. You got a good jump on Chase, and boy, this car, once you put it out front, did it ever go?
Yeah, that restart, that was key right there, and I knew from practice and stuff that our car was going to be good on the outside, and it was all going to come down to that restart. Running with all these guys here, Chase, Sweet, Bucko, it's a blast doing it. I love the place. Obviously, the track sponsors, you got Huntley Trucking. Freihofer's does a lot for the place. Just without those guys, it wouldn't be possible. I got Subway on the car and Pete Duda with Fast One Motorsports. It's great to have them on board, and it's a lot of fun to come over here.
Think back earlier in the race, 3 wide, a scary moment. I think maybe lap number 4 it was. Bucko in the middle, you were down on the bottom. Sweet was way up on the top. Boy, and it's a sprint to the front at that point. These cars are so equal in ability for you. You knew it was time to go right from there, 3 wide early on. That move was pretty key as well.
Well, I watched Bucko enough. I had to go at the right on the inside coming out of turn 2. So it's just a lot of fun. I mean, all these guys that run over here, there's plenty of room for us to move around and find grip and stuff. So it's just a blast to run with them. I can't wait till the 2nd one.
Nice job, win number 2 of the year.
Thank you.
That's Bobby Therian. We'll talk with
And remember, the number of good cars that he's going to have to work past to try to get his way to the front of the field.
All right, ready to go. Here they come off the 4th turn. Green flag is out. Good jump on the inside for Keith Pelkey. LaFountain tries to hang with him on the top of the racetrack. He does as he vaults off the 2nd turn. Chain reaction down on the inside. Bumper tag.
Are we sure?
As they race down into turns 3 and 4. The leader of lap number 1 is going to be Jamie LaFountain as they box it up. Morgan was in the wall. Morgan got a pretty good piece of the wall. That boxed up the outside line. After the inside got boxed up in the first turn, the outside line gets boxed up. Now we're even. As Nick Haywood is trying to move on the top of the racetrack, Bruno is pinned in that 69 down on the bottom. Travis Bruno trying to follow around Mark Lamberton in the 44 car. Likewise for the 17 of Jason Durgan. He's pinned. Here goes Haywood now. He moves underneath Rico Hernandez in the number 98 car. Look at the 3 wide battle in the back of the pack. Stuart Friesen, real aggressive move. 3 wide, splitting the difference between Tyson Drown and Rico Hernandez. Out front, the 20 of Jamie LaFountain. Here comes Ronnie Proctor. Proctor in the 27 will take position number 5 away. The 44 of Mark Lamberton. has worked his way up into position number 6. The 29X of Jim Morgan on the comeback trail after getting into the wall. Vince Quinville in the 78 car. Oh boy, look out, contact between Quinville and the 78 and the 17 of Durgan. They skipped the wheel, and the 78 of Quinville had to hold on to it. A tire may possibly go down between those two cars. That's going to be a developing story throughout this race. Durgan in the number 17 car has the right side tires skip over the left side wheels of the 78 of Vince Quinville. Quinville helping vault that 69 of Bruno closer to the front. Nick Haywood saw that, and he is taking his foot off the gas just a bit. He's playing a little bit of defense because he still sees the 69 of Travis Bruno right there in front of him.
He knows that if he is within 3 spots, he's perfectly fine. As Chris Frenier's in trouble off of turn number 2, he got up into the bunker. He rights the boat, and he continues on his way. Out front it is Jamie LaFountain, who has been in this position so many times this year, where he has led the first half of the race only to find other cars chasing him down and then surrendering the lead in the final 5 laps. He hopes today to pull into victory lane for the first time this year here at Airborne as they're wheel-to-wheel racing for that second spot. But Mark Lamberton is right there in the 44. The 7 of Cody Aubin pushes up the racetrack. That breaks the momentum of the 4 and slows down the outside line. It allows the 30 of Jason Christ to move down low on the inside. He's going to go to the 3rd spot. Lamberton trying to follow him through as he'll move to 4th. The 4 car of Pelkey is off the pace now. He is headed back to the garage area. Pelkey's in trouble, waving his hand to let the other drivers know that he is headed back to the pits. Out front it is Jamie LaFountain. Cody Aubin is 2nd. 3rd in the 30 car, Jason Christ. Mark Lamberton runs in 4th. 5th is the 27 for Ronnie Proctor. 6th is Travis Bruno. 7th is Jason Durgan. And right now running in what would be a championship position on the track, 8th is Nick Haywood.
Just a couple of laps back, another scary moment for Vince Quinville. The 19 of Stuart Friesen slammed into the back of Quinville in turn number 2. Quinville made a heck of a save. So Quinville has had to take evasive action twice in that number 78 car. They box it up a bit towards the front. It's still LaFountain showing way up front. Look out. The 7 of Aubin got a piece of the 30 of Jason Christ. Christ was looking to the top of the racetrack. Aubin drifted up just a bit. Those two cars made contact, and now they're side by side for the 2nd spot. Aubin up on top of the racetrack. It's Jason Christ digging down to the inside. He takes position 2 away. Look at Travis Bruno. Bruno has worked his way to the top 5, but Nick Haywood is there, just 3 positions behind in 8th. It's Jamie LaFountain on board the 20. That car perhaps starting to go away as the number 30 of Jason Christ has pulled to the back bumper. Here comes the 44 as well, Lamberton. Here goes Jason Christ, a bid for the lead. Here they come off the 4th turn. Wheel-to-wheel drag race to the lead. At the halfway point, it's still LaFountain. Jason Christ is all over him. Like a fly on you-know-what. Here he comes down to the inside. Jason Christ has the nose out in front. He takes the lead away from LaFountain. And it's the 44, Mark Lamberton, looking to come by. Jason Christ has the lead at the line.
Nick Haywood's made a big move as well. He is now looking to the outside of Travis Bruno. They're the top 2 championship contenders running wheel-to-wheel for position off of turn number 2. There's a line down to the inside. Bruno's there. He's going to take it now 3 wide for position. There goes Haywood around on the outside. Nick Haywood will take the spot. We got a spin over in turn number 3. That is Jason Durgan in the 17. Another car goes off the top of the running in the 9th spot. He's from Niagara on the Lake, Ontario. And Timex Morgan in the 29X rounds out the top 10. The green flag is back out.
Good start up on top of the racetrack for the 20 of LaFountain. Jason Christ trying to hang with him on the inside. Christ with a good drive off of the 2nd turn. He keeps the nose out in front. It's the 44 of Mark Lamberton on the prowl right there in position number 3, looking to slide to the inside. He can't get there just yet. Jason Christ in the 30 holds him off. It's the 20 of Jamie LaFountain continuing to backslide as the 44 of Lamberton is going to go down to the inside. Nick Haywood playing it safe again. He's going to follow the line around behind the 69 of Travis Bruno. That is the best spot to follow. Look out. Stuart Friesen gets into the back of the 27 of Ron Proctor. That's the 2nd car Stu Friesen has made contact with here in this afternoon's event. Proctor in that number 27. You can see the damage on the left rear quarter panel. As Friesen again with a look down to the inside, but he can't complete that power move. Out front, it's still the 30 of Jason Christ, but Mark Lamberton is all over him. Lamberton looking low. Christ has been trying to run a bottom line, but that car is pushing up just enough for Lamberton to get a peek down to the inside. At the line, It's still Jason Chris holding him off.
Jason Chris, Mark Lamberton pulling away from Jamie LaFountain in third. Here comes Nick Haywood on the outside in the fourth position, trying to make a bid on Jamie LaFountain as they race down the backstretch. Haywood runs in the fourth spot. Fifth is the 69 of Travis Bruno. Vince Quinville runs in the sixth position as Mark Lamberton continues to doggedly pursue the number 30 in Jason Chris. Lamberton running in that second spot right on the back bumper. Nick Haywood finishes the pass on Jamie LaFountain. He'll go to third. Travis Bruno in the number 69 will follow on the outside. He looks to take the fourth spot away from LaFountain, who will slide back to the fifth position as he's loose in the fourth turn and down the front stretch. He's now back to fifth. Mark Lamberton dialing it in down low off of turn number 2. He's trying to get the nose underneath that left rear corner panel of the 30 car. Can't get there going into turn number 3. Chris will hold on to the lead as they work along the front stretch. It's about a half car length advantage for Jason Chris at the line over car number 44 of Mark Lamberton.
Boy, Jason Durgan in the 17, not too pleased with the 27 of Ron Proctor. Not real sure why, but a couple of times punched the rear end of that 27 car. Durgan again punches him going into turn number 3. I'm not sure if that's his way of trying to get by, but Durgan will slide by down on the inside. And I know Ronnie Proctor won't be too pleased with that move. Back out front, it's still Jason Chris holding him off. There's a lap car up in front. Will that lap car, the 4 of Keith Pelkey, play any factor into this finish? He could, as we have 5 laps to go for the 30 of Jason Chris. Chris pushes up the racetrack a bit in turn number 2, but a good drive off the second turn. Doesn't allow the 44 of Lamberton to get there. Is Lamberton holding back? Is he waiting for the right time? Passing flag is being shown to the 4 of Keith Pelkey as both cars go low underneath Pelkey's number 4.
It's the 30 of Jason Chris by a car length. The 44 of Mark Lamberton trying to chase him down. He's had a number of laps where he's been able to run right behind him. If he's going to make a move, he's probably got an idea where he can do it, as he looks down on the inside going into turn number 1. Jason Chris in car number 30 looking to finish off the 2014 season with an Airborne victory. It'll be his first career win. Can he hold off Mark Lamberton? Don't count out Nick Haywood. He's trying to close in on this fray out front as there are 2 laps to go for the 30 of Jason Chris. Mark Lamberton in the 44 continues to stay right on the back bumper. Nick Haywood just a car length off the back of Lamberton's number 44. Travis Bruno runs in the 4th spot. Track championship position right now for Nick Haywood in that number 29 as he sits in 3rd. But the race for the win has 1 lap to go. It's Jason Chris in car number 30 showing the way. Mark Lamberton in the 44 looks down low in turn number 2. Chris with a good run off the top of the second turn. Down the backstretch for the final time. They come into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Chris in the 30 holding on to lead. Haywood goes to the outside. Drag race for the win. Down to the line. It's Jason Chris at the line. The 44 of Mark Lamberton. 2nd. 3rd to Nick Haywood in the 29. 4th to Travis Bruno in the 69. 5th to Vince Quinville in the 78. 6th goes to the 20 of Jamie LaFountain. 7th was car 7 for Cody Aubin. Stuart Friesen races back in the old 4-cylinder division when he was running there. Former track champion in the 4 cylinders. He picks up his first career win in the Sportsman Modifieds. Mark Lamberton was running right with him on the back bumper for much of that event, but he could not make a pass, and he'll finish in the 2nd spot. And Nick Haywood with a 3rd place finish. Yet again, the track champion for the Sportsman Modified division. Nick is out of his car. Mark Lamberton trying to get out of his car as well. It's his first career victory in the Sportsman Modified division. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. That's his first career win, and he's some kind of happy down in Victory Lane. Robbie is standing down there trackside. He'll get a word with our top 3 finishers and the, once again, track champion Nick Haywood. Robbie, down to you.
Thank you very much. Jason Chris, certainly very excited down here in Victory Lane. Jay, good thing you took the helmet off. Oh. I mean, you look pretty scary wearing that helmet, but yes. Boy, for you, you're going to end up locking up the Rookie of the Year in this division, and what a better way to cap off the year. I can't think of a driver in this division that deserves it any more than you after how hard you've worked this season, and for you, boy, it's got to feel great.
This has been a long time coming. I cannot believe it happened on the last night. This is unreal. Congratulations to Nick. He wrapped up the championship for him. I got the Rookie of the Year. This couldn't be any better.
Talk about your race car. For you, For you, I thought this race car was very strong over in turn number 3. Going into turn number 3, you were able to drive it deeper than the 44 of Mark Lamberton. And off of turn number 2 as well, this car seemed very dialed up. You were able to push right up to the top and use that progressive banking. Was that the strategy? Because it sure worked.
It was a lot better, a car and a half off the bottom. maybe a half a car probably. I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but it was. The higher we got up the track, the better it was off, and I was just taking it easier in, so. Oh my God, this is unreal.
Well, enjoy this a lot, but don't enjoy it too much. You still got another race to try and win later on this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Jason Chris, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's Jason Chris. He picks up his first career win.
Michael Brissett, the 11, Mike Whalen, 22B, Pete Blaney, 14, Stephen Brissett. We're ready to go. Green flag racing, this time off the 4th turn. Green flag is out. Final time in 2014 for the Busch Beer Mini Modifieds. Taking the lead is Fast Eddie down on the inside, but here comes Tyler. Tyler Brissett on point with the 8. He has the nose out in front. 4 wide into turn number 3. Dave Demore hanging out on the outside. Will this work? They play bumper tag, more bumper tag, and Tim LaFountain plays nice guy down on the inside and allows the 79 to collect it. Out front, still Fast Eddie. Here comes Tyler Brissett again. Brissett off the top of turn number 2, but Brissett drives deeper into turn number 3. Look at Richner threading the needle. 3 deep, 3 deep. 2 rows consecutive. Now they're 4 wide coming off the 4th turn. Oh boy, this might hurt for someone. But Richner threads the needle and makes his way through. I bet you Harold wasn't too pleased because there was a little bit of contact, and even the slightest bit of contact Harold isn't pleased with.
Yeah, you got to remember, some of these guys aren't happy with one another after their qualifiers.
Look at the car moving through the middle. Mike Whalen in the 11. He's the guy on the move. Whalen threading the needle in the 11 car, rolling the dice, moving up the middle. Tyler Brissett still shows the way in the 8 car. And it is more than a gaggle of cars. It's a pack. It's a herd. Similar to the herd that was on Brinkerhoff Street a couple days back. 4 wide, 5 wide. Now back to 4 wide off the 4th turn. We might have a lead change in this exchange. Holy cow. It looks like a demolition derby.
38 cars battling for the lead.
Yes, as they race in turns 1 and 2, Tim LaFountain's got the lead.
Now that really is a gaggle.
4 wide down the backstretch. It's the 11 of Whalen, the 81 of Richner. Down on the bottom, Richner backed out of it. Whalen coming through down to the inside. Richner trying to tag along on the back bumper. The 79 of Jay LaGrave is still way on the outside groove. Well, Tim LaFountain has the lead, and Mike Whalen's coming for it. Whalen in the 11 car is taking a peek down to the inside. Fast Eddie Brissett is still working pretty hard, but here comes C.J. LaVere in the 4. LaVere in the number 4 car has worked his way into position number 4. Dale O'Neill is now up to 5th. Well, that gaggle is now moving south, if you will, through the pack.
Oh, there goes Pete Blaney.
Oh, Blaney was
winner last time out.
22B.
Picked up his first career victory just a few weeks ago. He's parked off turn 2.
And that's not a case of turn 2 fluke. That is a, that's a wait for the, here they come off of turn number 4. The back of the field trying to catch up. The green flag is out. Dale O'Neill thinks 3 wide off the start. Scott Richer sees him go flying by. He says, hey, where you going? And Scott Richer keeps right back up with him. They're side by side down the backstretch. Harold LaVere thinking 3 wide on top of the racetrack. Why not? He's hanging it out to dry on top. He's going to try and follow son CJ around. And that might not work as Tyler Brissett in the 8 pushed up the racetrack a little bit and got a piece of him. Out front, though, it's Mike Whalen in the 11. Scott Richer in the 81. The car's been better on the longer distance runs. And on that restart, boy, Scott Richer, I'll give him a grade of C- because he allowed the 16 of O'Neill to move through underneath. But now he's looking back underneath O'Neill, halfway for Mike Whalen in the 11. Scott Richer in the 81 has that machine rolling now, as he has gone by Dale O'Neill for the 2nd spot, but he's got Mike Whalen up in front of him about 4 car lengths away. Richer's car is pretty good, though. Look out! There goes Harold LaVere. Harold LaVere went spinning across the front bumper of the 15 of Eddie Brissett, and that's going to... All right, ready to go again. 8 in the books trying to get to number 15. Here they come off the 4th turn. Green flag is out. Look at Dale O'Neill thinking 3 wide. Dale O'Neill thinking 3 wide by turn number 1. He can't get there, though.
He backed out of it.
Yeah, here comes Richner, though, up on top of the racetrack. Scott Richer in the 81 uses the progressive banking.
Wasn't he next to last?
He's 5th.
How do you, he went in half a lap.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch the restart. He got up there pretty quick, though.
He's up to 6th.
Wow. He must be that good. Maybe it's a little hocus pocus.
Whatever it was good. There goes the hocus pocus out front. Richner's got the lead.
Richner, the Great Ape in the 81. He's showing the way. The 11 of Whalen trying to hang with him, but Richner takes the lead away. 5 laps to go for Scotty Richner, the Great Ape. Richner a bit sideways in 1 and 2. That allows the 11 of Whalen to catch up. A bit of contact in the second turn, as both drivers were a bit sideways. Richner running a higher line. Mike Whalen in the 11 tries to come through down on the inside, but Richner's carrying the momentum up on top of the racetrack. This race isn't done just yet. Here comes C.J. LeVere.
Absolutely.
C.J. LeVere is moving on top.
Don't count out Dale O'Neill at 16 either.
C.J. LeVere in the number 4 is running the outside groove around the racetrack, and sometimes the extreme outside. That's where we saw C.J. LeVere 4 or 5 years ago pick up a ton of wins.
Well, that's where Richner just was, and boy, did you see how well he vaulted off of turn number 2 on the top.
Richner sideways, and he allows the 11 of Whalen to come back through down on the inside. Now, Richner wouldn't be the type of driver to play possum.
No.
So Richner's actually trying, and he's having a tough time on the outside. Hopsco sticks her out. 2 laps to go for Mike Whalen, and Whalen could be mirror driving. Whalen took a hard left turn as soon as Richner looked down to the inside. Mike Whalen in the 11 shows the way. It's Scott Richner with good momentum off the second turn. Richner in the 81 is right there on the back bumper. Here comes the 4 now. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. It's anybody's race in the top 3, but Whalen shows the way right now. Richner in the 81 is going to take it to the top of the racetrack and try and get the momentum off the second turn. He's got plenty of momentum as he races down the backstretch. As he vaults off the second turn, he's at the top of the racetrack. Now he's going to try and diamond the corner and slingshot underneath. Here they come off the 4th turn. The winner is going to be Mike Whalen. Scott Richner second. 3rd, C.J. LeVere. 4th, Dale O'Neill. 5th will be Pete Blaney. 6th, the 41 of Tim LaFountain. 7th, Harold LeVere. 8th, Dave Demore. 9th to the 78 of Mike Wright. And 10th, Eddie Brissett.
Victory lap around the Big A. That is his first win of the season here at Airborne. Robbie is headed down trackside. He'll talk to Whalen as well as Scott Richner and Chris LeVere. They'll all be in victory lane. Good battle out front for the win, and it was Whalen who was able to take home the checkered flag. He's climbing out of his car now. Give him a nice round of applause as Mike Whalen gets the win. And Robbie is down trackside to get a word with Michael Whalen.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Down here waiting for Mike Whalen to come on over. Mike, come on over here so we get you on camera. Right on over here so we can get you on camera. For you, this car was pretty good today. A little bit of a change, different tires, but you had to add, I believe, 100 pounds. Just talk about that change.
Yeah, we had to weigh 2350, so we put some extra weight in it to make it past tech. They let us run rims and tires this week. Obviously, it's a big difference from what we are running, but hey, we got up here. And
that's a little bit of a change. Those are the rules at Devil's Bowl. Talk a little bit about those differences in the tires between the rules here at Airborne and over at Devil's Bowl.
We run a Goodyear track tire on a race rim at Devil's Bowl, and we're allowed 1.5 inches of camber down there, and we got to weigh 2,200 pounds. Here we got to weigh 2,300 pounds with our stock rims and tires, which are street stock tires and stock rims. They made us add some weight up to 2350 with these, and it makes it kind of competitive because Richner was all over me.
Well, for you, the car was hooked up. You did a nice job. You made a couple of wise 3-wide moves. You're able to split the difference between a couple of guys. And for you, you're picking up your first win of the year. Nice job today.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mike Bruno for putting on great races all year. I'd like to thank the track for, every weekend we're here racing. And the rest of the sponsors, R&R Auto, David's Repair, High Voltage Designs. That's what gets us here.
All right, nice job, Mike Whalen. He picks up his first win.
2 and shotgun Brandon Nolan in the 44N. That's the field. Here they come along the front stretch, and the green flag is out. 30 laps the distance as we determine the track champion for the Renegade Division at Airborne in 2014. Keep an eye on the 11, the 19, and the H2O, and already the H2O has been snookered on the outside line. That outside line backed up. The inside line is rolling. Lance Raptoy, Jamie Bigor making inroads down low on the inside as they make their way towards the front of the field. Right now it's the 32 out front. That is the 32 for Brett Jarvis running in the second spot. Ryan Booten in the number 28. Number of cars in the middle of the pack. Lance Raptoy has cleared some of those cars as he is running in the 7th spot. Jamie Bigor trying to take 8th away right now from car number 30 and Zach Daniels. Robert Gordon in the H2O, again coming into this event unofficially ahead by 1 point over Jamie Bigor. That is 1 position on the racetrack. So right now, advantage Bigor. Bigor has, what's the advantage between Bigor and Raptoy? Raptoy is, I believe, 3 behind Bigor. So right now, Bigor 1 position behind Raptoy. He would have the advantage. Out front, it's the 32 of Jarvis. The 28 of Booten is second. Third is McKiernan in the 55. Here's the 23 of John Booten moving through on the inside to grab 4th. Amber Turner's on the outside. It's the 11 of Lance Raptoy coming through to the inside of his son, Zach Raptoy, in car number 12. Jamie Bigor will follow through in that inside line. The 57 of Amber Turner is sliding backwards on the outside of turn number 2. Lance Raptoy has taken the spot and gone to 5th. Jamie Bigor will follow him, trying to take the 6th spot away from Amber Turner. Josh Terry is down low on the inside. He is trying to move up as well. He's looking to take the 7th position. Robert Gordon in the H2O is also right there in the thick of things. He's right off the back bumper of Josh Terry. They work off of 2 down the backstretch. And those top cars, they're right close together. The 11 of Raptoy, the 19 of Bigor, and the H2O of Robert Gordon. Bigor with a peek to the inside of Raptoy down the front stretch going to turn number 1. Jamie Bigor tries to get the nose underneath in turn number 2. They're door-to-door, side-by-side off 2 down the backstretch. Advantage to Raptoy in the 11 as he was able to get that top side of the track to kick in for him, and he'll hang on to the spot, but Bigor is still there, digging away down low on the inside. Jamie Bigor at the line has the spot. Bigor in the 5th position by about a foot over Lance Raptoy in the 11, and here comes Gordon. Gordon's in the mix. There are the top 3 cars running right next to one another on the racetrack, all racing for position. Bigor now to 5th. Robert Gordon's going to go to the 6th spot, and right behind him, Lance Raptoy back to 7th. So that's a bad couple of laps for Lance Raptoy as he will lose position to both Bigor and Robert Gordon. And now Gordon looks to the inside of Bigor down the backstretch. That is the battle for the championship right there. Gordon in the H2O, Bigor in car number 19. Side by side, just about dead even, coming down the front stretch. And the yellow flag is out for the spinning 08 of John Bradley in the middle of the back. Win here at Airborne. Then you've got the other Booten and John in car number 23 on the outside of row 2. Jamie Bigor is in the 19 machine sitting in 5th. Robert Gordon is 6th. Those are the top 3 rows. Here they come. The green flag is out. Remember the defending track champion Lance Raptoy runs in the 7th spot. Zach Daniels in trouble. Sean Duquette trying to hang on to it as well. Good save by Daniels, good save by Duquette, and we continue racing down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Side by side now for the lead. Brent Jarvis on the inside trying to hold serve and hang on to the lead. Meanwhile on the outside it's Ryan Boone, the number 28. Here comes the 55 of McKiernan trying to come through on the inside. Robert Gordon's moved down to the inside. He's going to follow Jamie Bigor for a lap or 2 as we've got side-by-side racing out front for the lead. Throw a blanket on the top 3 cars. The 32 of Jarvis down low on the inside. Here's the 28 of Ryan Boone on the outside as they drag race down the line for the lead. It's still the 32 of Jarvis by a foot. The 28 of Booten is right with him on the outside. The 55 of McKiernan there waiting to see how things shake out in front of him. He's going to look down low to the inside, backed out of that move. Ryan Booten had the lead by a nose going to turn number 3. Here they come along the front stretch now to the stripe, and this time it is Ryan Booten with the lead. Booten in car number 28 shows the way. The 32 of Jarvis right there in second. McKiernan again looking down low off 2. Jamie Bigor 4th. Robert Gordon runs in the 5th spot. Those are the 2 cars in the battle for the championship. Oh, we got contact out front. A chain reaction out front that sends Booten around. McKiernan, the 55, gets through. Bigor gets through. The H2O of Robert Gordon gets through, and we've got a yellow flag. Those 2 drivers, that'll be the differential. That's all it's going to take. All right, big restart coming up. 11 laps down on our way to 30. Here they come down the front stretch, and the green flag is back out. Bigor trying to dial in the outside line. McKiernan down low. He pushes up the track. Gordon's got room if he can get to the inside off of turn number 2. Bigor's got the lead from the outside. Here comes Gordon through on the inside. Rob Gordon trying to get that 2nd spot. McKiernan fights back now on the outside line with a 55. As they race off turn number 4, Jamie Bigor's got the lead. Robert Gordon runs in 2nd. McKiernan wanting to get the car back down low to the inside. He's 3rd. Josh Terry all over the back bumper. Good run off 2. Here comes Terry to the inside. He's going to take the third spot. Sean Duquette's rolling in that 18 machine as well. He's coming towards the front. But it's Jamie Begor and Robert Gordon. The top 2-point guys, they will settle it out and decide a track champion. Begor in the 19 needs to hold off the H2O. 1 point the difference between the two coming into this race. Advantage Gordon by 1 point, but there's a 2-point gap between positions on the track. So right now, Begor has a 1-point lead if they were to finish this way, but Gordon's just a car length behind him. And the way this division runs side by side so frequently over the course of the season, you just get a feeling that this could come down to some type of side-by-side race for the checkered flag. As they work through turn number 4, halfway home to 30. And Gordon has closed onto the back bumper. Begor trying to protect the inside line. Gordon getting those left side tires off the racing surface, off of turn number 2. Down the backstretch, here comes Gordon looking low to the inside. He draws even going to turn number 4. Robert Gordon on the inside, Jamie Begor on the outside. Down the line, it is Gordon by inches at the stripe. Robert Gordon had the lead at the stripe. Jamie Begor fights back over in turn number 2. Side-by-side racing for the lead. Advantage Gordon to turn 3. Robert Gordon trying to finish the pass, trying to come through on the inside line. The all-time winningest driver in the division. He's got the lead at the line, but still can't clear him. How about in turn number 2? Begor gets a good run again over in turn 2. Gordon, not bad. He maintains the advantage down the backstretch going to turn number 3. Jamie Begor in the 19 trying to stick with the H2O of Rob Gordon. Gordon runs very well off of turn number 4. Still can't quite clear Begor just yet, though. In turn number 2, now he can work whatever line he wants. Begor tries to get back to the outside, and it's advantage Robert Gordon. Begor looking outside, turns 3 and 4. Now he'll follow him for a few laps. They work along the front stretch with 18 laps complete. Robert Gordon in the middle of a championship run. Gordon works off of turn number 2. 4-time winner this year in that H2O. Begor has won 3 times. It's a gap back to the 43 of Josh Terry. The top 2 cars will settle it between themselves, and Gordon's pulling away. It's a 3-car length advantage now for Robert Gordon. Begor in the 19, watching his chances slip away with less than 5 to go. Less than 10 to go, rather. It's the 43 of Josh Terry in that 3rd spot. Sean Duquette in car number 18 running in 4th. Jim McKiernan in the double nickel has fallen back to the 5th spot. Gordon's advantage over Jamie Begor, 4 car lengths off the 2nd turn. And it continues to increase. Sean Duquette trying to take the 3rd spot away. Lance Raptoy, who was the other title contender, the defending track champion, is well behind the top 2 cars. Lance running in the 6th spot. Gordon now by 5 car lengths. Sean Duquette in the 18 looking to the inside of the 43. Trying to dig to get that spot away from the 43 of Josh Terry is Sean Duquette in the 18. They're close to even at the line for the 3rd position. Duquette in the 18 trying to come through, but it's a good run for Terry off the top of turn number 2. Let's set the field for you. Lap 24 about to go up on the board. Robert Gordon's lead is 7 car lengths over Jamie Begor. Josh Terry runs 3rd. Sean Duquette is 4th. Jim McKiernan is 5th. Lance Raptoy is 6th. 7th in the number 23 machine. That is John Boutin. Running in 8th is Zach Daniels. 9th in car number 28 is Ryan Boutin. Rounding out the top 10 is Brent Jarvis in the 32. 11th in the 22 is Dylan Raptoy. Zach Raptoy is 12th in car number 12. Brandon Nolan is 13th. 14th is Metalman. John Bradley is 15th. And then Josh Paye is in the 16th position. And he can see in his rearview mirror Robert Gordon, who is approaching. And we'll have an opportunity to put a lap on the 5 of Josh Paye. Now that could factor in. We'll see if the lap traffic behaves in front of the leader, Robert Gordon. And right now, the way things are shaking out front, that's about the only thing that might bring Jamie Begor back into the mix. If some of these slower cars impede the progress of Gordon. Nice job by Paye in the 5X to go towards the top. Gordon easily moves underneath. And now Jamie Begor will have to try to deal with that slower car. Josh Terry still holding off the 18 of Sean Duquette. 2 laps to go for Robert Gordon in the H2O. Gordon continues to build his advantage off of turn number 2. It's now almost half the backstretch over Jamie Bigor. Gordon making a move on the 2 of Metal Man. 1 lap to go for Robert Gordon. Jamie Bigor helpless now in that second spot. It's a clear track in front of Gordon. The car would have to break down if Bigor were to have any opportunity. It's not going to happen. Here comes Robert Gordon off of turn number 4. The all-time winningest driver of the Renegades has won it. Robert Gordon wins. Jamie Bigor is second. Third, Josh Terry. Fourth is the 18 of Sean Duquette. Fifth is Jim McKiernan in the 55. Sixth, Lance Raptoy. Seventh to the 23 of John Booten. Eighth to Zach Daniels. Ninth to the 28 of Ryan Booten. And rounding out the top 10.
Certainly a nice drive for Rob Gordon in the H2O car. As he takes his victory lap around the Big 8. Win number 5 on the season for Robert Gordon. And as Rob said, number 20 in the career here in the Renegade division at Airborne Speedway. Rob has done applause. It's Rob Gordon climbing up on the side of the car. Certainly excited in victory lane, and Rob will go and talk to him in just a minute.
All right, here is Robert Gordon. Win number 20 in your racing career and his first track championship here at the Airborne Speedway. Tell us about the race. I thought in the early going, you really were patient because there was a lot of traffic in front and you could have panicked and gone to the outside, but I thought you played it pretty conservative early on, and then when you saw your chance to go to the front, you really started to move.
Yeah, you can only go as fast as the cars are in front of you a lot of times. I felt like I had a better car, but the last race is a bad race to start using your bumper, so we played it patient. It worked out for us.
The inside line has been the place for you so often throughout the year, and that was it again. It looked like a lot of teams were struggling to stick down low. You weren't.
Yeah, no, the car really goes good on the top, but it seems like I can cut it down and throttle up off the corner at least a lane lower than most everybody else. So when it does that, we're going to take it.
Rob, you have won a number of races here, more than anybody else in this Renegade division, but you've never called yourself a track champion until now. That has to be very rewarding.
Yeah, it feels really good. Glad I could do it for my guys. Randy does a lot of work on the car. He's worked on this car hard this year and every year. And Julie does a lot. All my family, friends help out. I got a good bunch of guys helping me out.
Way to go, Gordo.
Thank you.
All right, there's Robert.